So, you're moving to Warrensburg, Missouri for a job, or you're PCSing to Whiteman Air Force Base, and you have to buy a house in a seller's market. What is a seller's market? Let's talk about that. Today, we're gonna talk about what is a seller's market and how can you get a leg up on your competition. Stay tuned. Eva here from Next Door Agents. Thank you for watching my videos. I put a lot of work into them and I hope they help people. Make sure that you like and subscribe down below because I get new videos out every single week and you're gonna wanna be notified. Also, if you're moving to Warrensburg, Missouri, or you're PCSing to Whiteman Air Force Base, contact numbers down there. Reach out, text, email, call. I really love talking to people who are moving here, even if it's just like a question of, hey, where can I buy shoes in town? I can help you with that one because I have a shoe problem. Anyway, I digress. Definitely reach out. Contact information is down below. I love talking to people. Today, we're gonna talk about how to handle a seller's market. So what is a seller's market? A seller's market occurs when demand exceeds supply. So basically what that means, there are so many people trying to buy houses and there are not enough houses on the market to sell, so therefore the sellers who are selling those houses have the buyers at a big advantage. But there are ways to prepare for this, and that's what we're gonna talk about today. So number one is know your timeline. In a seller's market, homes sell fast, and I mean fast. So buyers actually are forced to kind of compete with each other. Houses go on the market in the morning, and by the evening, they have multiple offers and then they're under contract. So you really have to be prepared to know that when you want to start shopping for a home, say you're moving here in June and you want to buy a house in May or April, you need to, as soon as a house gets dropped on the market, you see it pop up, you need to get your agent to show you that house ASAP, same day, same morning, literally within the hour, even if it means dropping everything, because that house will not be available to look at tomorrow probably. And that's just how it is in a seller's market. If a house is well priced, it's in a great location, and it's desirable, especially if it's move-in ready, that house isn't gonna stay on the market long and it's probably gonna get 4 or 5 offers. So if you can't see it same day, you're just gonna have to wait for the next house. So know your timeline and be available to look at houses on that timeline. Number 2 would be have your pre-approval or have your proof of funds ready and available. So a proof of funds is basically an amount of money that you have in your account, and then the bank gives you a letter saying this person has this much money and can purchase this property. And that's usually just for larger companies, corporations, or people who are buying property in cash. For the average Joe, we have what's called a pre-approval, and that's a letter from your lender saying that you are approved for a loan up to a certain amount. Because in a seller's market, the seller isn't even gonna look at an offer unless you have a pre-approval letter saying that you have a loan or have the ability to get a loan for the amount of money they're asking for the house. Because otherwise it's just a waste of their time. If you accept an offer and the person actually doesn't have the ability to get the loan, you've just wasted a whole lot of time and taken a house off the market for no reason. So if you're gonna put an offer on a house in a seller's market, make sure you have your pre-approval or your proof of funds letter ready and available to give to your agent. Number 3 on this list would be keep your offer simple. And what do I mean by that? So when you're going in to make an offer on a property, on a house, don't ask for a bunch of concessions, meaning don't ask them to give you a bunch of money or to pay for this or pay for that. Keep your offer simple. Don't ask them to pay your closing costs. Don't ask for the furniture. Just keep it simple. Say, I will pay you this much money at asking or above asking, probably above asking if you're in a seller's market. Please give me your house. Now, a lot of people these days are saying things like waive the appraisal contingency, waive the inspection contingency. I wouldn't necessarily jump to those things because that's what really protects you if you find out something crazy and horrible about the house. One thing you could do is you offer to waive the inspection contingency, but still do the inspections and still have the ability to back out of the contract if you find out something horrendous like the foundation is about to crumble. So that's something else you could do. But keep the offer simple. Simple and easy, simple is best. There you go. Now here's another one, number 4, having to deal with the offer. Go in strong. Since you know that you're probably gonna have to be competing with other buyers, you need to go in with your strongest offer. You need to possibly add an escalation clause, which is basically a clause in the contract saying that you will increase the price, usually by $1,000, $2,000, or $5,000 increments, to a certain limit above other people's offers. So you can go in at, I'm gonna offer $200,000 on this house with an escalation clause going up every $1,000 up to $10,000. And that can sometimes get you the property. But make sure you have a strong offer to begin with, a strong offer, a simple offer, and don't counter. If they come back and say, we'll take this, except we counter $5,000 more, just accept it. Just take it. Because if you counter back, there's a good possibility that they will get another offer that will be better than yours, and they'll just reject yours and go for the better offer. So keep it strong. Escalation clause, don't counter. Number 5 is present an offer letter or letter along with your offer. Now, this sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work. For example, there was a house that I bought years and years and years ago when I was pregnant with my first child. And there were multiple offers on the house. So along with my strong offer, I wrote a letter to the owners because I knew that they also had 4 kids. I know that they'd raised their kids in the house. And I loved their color scheme and I loved everything about their decoration style. So I wrote them a letter telling them that. I was like, I'm not even gonna paint over these walls. These colors are beautiful, I love them. I'm pregnant with my first child. I wanna raise my children in this house. And they loved it. It just kind of went right to their heart, and that's what they were looking for. They were looking for a young family to have their starter home and raise their kids in a house that they had put a lot of time and love and care into. So sometimes an offer letter helps. Sometimes it doesn't do anything. But you know, if you really want the property, it can never hurt. Number 6, cash is king. I mean, it's true, cash is king. So what do I mean by this? 1, if you can offer in cash for a property, wow, do it. But you know, that's a very small percentage of us people living in the real world. But what I really mean by that is give a good chunk of earnest money. So earnest money is the money that you deposit to the title company to prove that you're not just gonna back out of the contract. It's usually 1% of the property value price, the listing price. And it's deposited within 5 days of the contract to the title company. So, for example, if you went under contract for a $200,000 house, you would deposit $2,000 of earnest money to the title company to be gotten back at the end when you close, or it's just wrapped into your loan, whichever one. But it basically shows that you're not just gonna get up and walk away from the contract, because if you did, the buyer would get to keep that money. Or, I'm sorry, the seller would be able to keep that money. So, where am I going with this? Offer more earnest money to show that you're serious. So instead of 1%, do 1.5%. So do $2,500, or do $3,000, or do $4,000 on a $200,000 house. This kind of really shows that you're serious, that you really want the property, and you're ready to put down some money to back yourself up. So, cash is king. Number 7. So this one is a little controversial. Sometimes I let my clients do it. Sometimes I'm like, you don't want to do that. And that's waiving your contingencies, waiving your inspection contingency, to be more specific. So this is where you tell the seller, and obviously it's in the contract, that you are going to do an inspection, but you're buying the property as is, and you're not going to ask them to fix anything found during that inspection. But you still waive the right, or you do not waive the right to cancel the contract. So say you do the inspection, you find that the foundation is just cracking and going straight to HE double hockey sticks. Well, you can still get out of the contract, and get your earnest money back. So that's what I mean by waiving contingencies. I never recommend to my clients to completely waive their inspection contingencies where they can do an inspection, but they cannot walk out of the contract, even if they find something horrendous. That's just a really dangerous situation to be in as someone buying a property. So if you're feeling spicy, if it's the right house, buy the house as is, waive the right to ask the seller to fix anything, but still do the inspection and still be able to get out of your contract if you find something you really just can't deal with. Number 8, and I kind of think out of all of these things, this is the most important one, even though it doesn't seem like it. It seems like the simplest. Don't get your heart completely set on a property. Be flexible. Be open to other options, other houses that you may not think that you would like. Go look at them, go see the layouts, because in a seller's market, houses go so fast and there's a really good chance that you're not gonna get the first, second, or even the third house that you put an offer in on, well, unless you're my client, and then you will. But be flexible. Keep your heart open to lots of possibilities, because in a seller's market, you are competing against other buyers who want the same house. And there's a good chance that you may not get the one that you want. So keep your heart open, keep your mind open, be flexible, be ready to look at lots of different options. There we go, and we're done. How to handle a seller's market. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you, or at least I hope you found it funny, you know, one or the other. But make sure that you like and subscribe down below, because I put a new video out every single week all about Warrensburg and Whiteman Air Force Base, and that way you'll get notified. Also, my contact information is right there, and I get texts and calls and emails from people literally all over the world. My most current client that I just talked to 2 days ago is in Italy right now, and they're PCSing to Whiteman in June, and I'm helping them find a property, and it's awesome. So if you're coming here and you need to ask some questions or you need some help, give me a call. Have a good one.